and welcome to a very chatty, relaxed and informal kind of get ready with me / testing out new beauty products. When I say relaxed and informal, I'm literally wearing my pajamas right now. It is 7:30 and the lighting was fairly good and I was about to do my makeup anyway, so I thought I would do it on camera because I'm planning on trying out lots of new products and bits and bobs that I've received recently. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started because I need my moisturiser to sink in. So this is the new Clinique Pep Start Hydra Blur Moisturiser, and this arrived yesterday, so forgive me, but I'm going to read off the press release, which is right here. So it's basically saying that it preps skin for makeup, blurs imperfections, controls oil, and brings you into focus with matte moisturisation, Hydra Blur technology, etc, etc. So it sounds really good. Let's see how it works. I'm going to pop some on now. Oh, this is a really weird formula. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see, but it looks thick. Oh my gosh, this is really unusual. So normally if products are for oily skin, they're like a gel because cream can leave oily skin a little bit more oily, but this is really textured. That's almost like, honestly, I've never seen anything like that. That's a really unusual texture. So maybe this is, oh, and it feels really thick as well. That is a very unusual consistency. So considering I put on quite big dollops, it's not actually going that far, so we do need quite a lot of this product. Remember, I have to avoid my eyebrow area because they are still recovering. So I'm just gonna put it on my forehead, on my eyes, but avoiding the eyebrow area. According to the press release, there are also botanical extracts of algae in here, which have anti-inflammatory properties, so good if you have any areas of redness. And also seaweed, which helps to control the excess production of oil, which stops your pores from getting clogged up. So for my skin type, this actually sounds really perfect. And having said that, it sunk in really quickly. So my skin feels slightly tacky, but you do actually want it to be slightly tacky when you apply your makeup, just to give your makeup something to really cling on to. And so this is going to be available exclusively at Boots from the 2nd of September, and then you'll be able to get it at Clinique counters nationwide from the 7th of October. So this is coming in just a few weeks. Before I start makeup, just going to tie hair back because, yeah, we don't want hair getting in my makeup. For my foundation, I'm going to use this new one from Estee Lauder, and it's called the Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Radiant Makeup. So cushion foundation is all over the place recently. L'Oreal have done one, Lancome have done one, and they seem to be a really big craze. This is slightly different, so if you look at the applicator, yes, it's dirty because I did a Snapchat first impressions the other day. You have to basically twist the bottom to make it come up through this hole in the sponge, and then you apply it with the sponge directly to your face. So there we go, and then I'm going to dot it all over my face and then just spread it out a little bit. So one of my main reasons for using this particular foundation today is because Double Wear notoriously has a really good coverage, and I'm actually going to be filming quite a few videos today, which means I do want some good coverage on my skin. I'm actually not loving how the actual sponge applies it, so I might just do the main spreading it out and then switch to a beauty blender. I'm actually going to pop a little bit more on there because, as I said, when I'm filming I do need a good coverage. Also, the sponge on this does thankfully unscrew, so if you just want to use it without the sponge, you can do that, and also makes it really good for washing, so nice and hygienic. When I first saw this as well, I thought it was going to be really heavy. I thought this was glass, but actually it's plastic, so it is nice and light for carrying in your handbag. Now I'm just spreading this over my face using a damp beauty blender. I just wet it as I usually do with my Body Shop Vitamin E mist, and it's applying really nicely. It's quite a good colour match for my skin. I've got the shade Tawny, which is 3W1. It's a really good colour match actually. It's quite a warm toned shade, a little bit yellowy, but that's quite good for my skin. Now that this is all blended, I can see that it is actually a much lighter finish than the usual Estee Lauder Double Wear. Sometimes I find Double Wear is actually too much for everyday wear. I wear it on days, for example, if I'm going to a wedding or somewhere where I know there's going to be lots of photos taken, because it is a very good photographic finish, but I do find it too heavy for every day. This I was expecting to be the same, but actually the formula is much lighter. I can actually still see a few of my blemishes through it, which means I do need to go in with a bit of concealer as well, and then powder too. But first of all, I'm going to try out something that I've not tried before, and it's the Too Faced Born This Way Oil-Free Naturally Radiant Concealer. And the reason why I've got a few Too Faced products in my pile of things to try is because Too Faced are now in Selfridges. So you can buy Too Faced, I think previously it was just from Debenhams, but now you can get them in Selfridges too. So I've got quite a few Too Faced things to try out in this video. So I've applied the concealer to the back of my hand, and then I'm just dotting it on my blemishes and areas of redness, and I'm just going to pat it in with my finger. This one is the shade Light Medium, and it looks like quite a good colour match for me. Really good coverage actually. That has given a really beautiful natural, not cakey, not drying at all, just a really lovely creamy finish over my blemishes, which is great. And then I'm going to pat it just close to my eyebrows to get rid of the redness from the microblading. And then anything that's left I just wipe over my eyelids, and that acts as a bit of a base for my eyeshadow later on. I'm taking a lighter shade of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm going to put this under my eyes. This is the shade Light, which I think is the lightest of them all, so it's a lot lighter in the tube. And because there's no contamination going on under my eyes, I'm going to apply it directly with the doe foot applicator, so just a couple of splodges under my eyes and then down my nose, which just creates a little bit of a natural highlight too. Once again starting by patting with my fingers, and then I'll go in my beauty blender afterwards. Now that my base is complete with the cream products, I'm going to set them and also add the teeniest bit more coverage because I am filming today, so I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation. I have tried this one before, but the shade I had was a little bit too light for me, so now I've got Natural, which is number 11, and I'm going to use again the brush which was designed for use with this, which just picks up the perfect amount of product. So going straight from the powder onto my face. And this, as you would with a normal powder, you can apply it to the areas where you get a little bit more oily or where you want to set your makeup, but because this is a powder foundation, you can really just apply it everywhere for that lovely even coverage. I absolutely love the finish that this gives. Hopefully the camera's picking it up, but it really does just blur everything, mattify, but without getting rid of all of your glow. So really my dream finish. It does, however, create quite a wash of colour, so it doesn't give your face much contour, it does kind of create one even colour all over your face, so it's important that you do go in with some bronzer or contour afterwards. So my base is now beautifully matte and a very even colour, so you can see I don't really have any shadow left on my face. So the next thing for me is bronzer, and this one again arrived yesterday and it's from the Estee Edit. This is the Barest Bronzer in 02 Medium Deep. I love ginormous bronzers. This is such a huge one. As you saw, I was using this ginormous mirror in the lid earlier, and it's got also this little kind of paint splat of highlights. You could actually use a brush just to pick up this section. You could use it as an eyeshadow or a specific highlight, but I'm going to take my Sigma brush and just very lightly to start with, I'm not sure how strong this is, pat that on there, and as usual starting under the cheekbones. It's actually quite a dark shade, it's not gone on very evenly. I'm not sure if that's because I'm applying it over a powder, but let's do some blending and see how it comes out. I'm actually quite surprised with this bronzer because it's called the Barest Bronzer, so I was expecting it to be very natural, but actually the colour is really, really intense, and I'm quite tanned at the moment, so considering it's so dark on my face, it's actually really surprised me. To start with, it took a lot of blending, so I've had to blend this a lot to really give it that smooth finish. So I'm not sure if that's the bronzer that's actually not terribly blendable, or whether it's the mixture of products that I put on my face first. That's the downside of applying new things all in one go, but having blended it, I do like the finish. It's still matte, but I have got a bit of a natural glow thanks to those shimmer areas. Colour-wise, it's a little bit more red than my normal bronzers, which I do quite like. I think it's quite a natural colour. It's very heavily pigmented, especially seeing as it is called the Barest Bronzer, so I was not quite expecting the amount of pigmentation. You can see where I took the brush up onto my forehead. It really is quite a deep colour, so hopefully that will look a little bit more natural when I've got a bit more makeup on. In the viewfinder, I really look as though I've been out in the sun for a few hours too long. I look like I've burnt my forehead a little bit, but in real life it doesn't look that bad, so I'm going to move on, and next I'm going to do eyes, and I have another Too Faced product here. This is their Chocolate Bar palette, which I've been dying to try for so long, and I was sent this by Selfridges to celebrate Too Faced now being available there. Oops, falling out. Yeah, I think it was on the 15th of August that it went live in Selfridges, so have a look at this palette. So many shades that are right up my street. I just absolutely love browns, shimmery browns, pinky browns. this is just the dream palette, and it smells like chocolate too. So could not be more perfect. First though, I'm actually going to apply the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I don't usually apply anything on my eyelids other than leftover concealer or foundation, so it'll be interesting to see if using an actual base will make any difference as to how long it lasts or the crease-free ability. This boasts 24-hour wear, so we'll see about that. So I'm just going to apply a teeny bit, about the size of, oh, a little bit of liquid came out there, about 1/3 of a grain of rice, and then using my fingers just going to dot that on my eyelids. And this looks quite creamy when it comes out of the tube, but it's almost invisible, quite liquidy when you put it on the eyelids. So I'm going to give that just a few seconds to dry off a bit because it is quite liquidy. And I'm going to take a look in the palette to see what we're going to go for. I don't vary too much when it comes to eye makeup, as you guys know, but I might go for this lovely salted caramel colour, which is a bit warmer than what I'd usually go for. And maybe I might try a sparkly eye as well. So next to it is the shade Marzipan, which I'll probably use for all over, and then this shade up here, Black Forest Truffle, what amazing names, I'm going to use to create that smoky effect. And I think I will use white chocolate to highlight the brow bone. So let's give it a go. Eyeshadow done. As you saw, I also took that darker truffle shade on the Zoeva Luxe Precise shader and I just tapped it into my lower lash line and also almost pushed it onto my upper lashes, and this gives a really lovely outline effect without the need for liner, which to be honest I usually skip out completely in the summer, so using a darker shade and a narrow brush like this is a really good tip. It's a little bit softer, but I have gone a little bit more bold than I usually would on the eyes, and that palette just made it so easy. All those shades are absolutely beautiful. I have a feeling I'll be getting a lot of use out of this, and it's so handy that they're now available in Selfridges. So that's the eyeshadow done. Next I'm going to curl my lashes and apply a new mascara. Rimmel have updated their famous Scandalise mascara and they've brought it out in black and blacker. So this is Scandalise Reloaded. They've completely changed the shape of the brush, so now you can get much closer to the inner corner of the eyes to create those really lovely big voluminous lashes. So I'm just starting by curling my lashes with my trusty Tweezerman lash curlers. Just a gentle squeeze on each eye, and then sometimes I take it out and give it a second squeeze just to really open out those lashes. And you can see this brush is really bristly, so it's going to be really good at getting in to the individual lashes to really give that incredibly voluminous effect. And apparently they've also improved the formula, so it's not going to be flaking off. But also, as long lasting as it is, it's going to be easy to take off at the end of the day. So once again, I'll leave a note here as to how easy this was to remove. I've been wearing the Clarins Brown Mascara so much recently that even just going in with one coat of black mascara is really quite a shock. It's such an intense colour, which is really nice actually, considering I've gone quite bold with the eyeshadow. So this looks really, really nice. It's actually coating the lashes in quite a fine way at the moment, but I feel like a second coat will make them really big and bold. I think thanks to the dark shadow being pushed to my lash line and how black this mascara is, and I really have wiggled it close to my lashes, there's absolutely no need for eyeliner. This black really is so intense that it gives my eyes a really lovely, almost like a feline look, and this is pretty amazing considering I don't have eyeliner on, so I think it's something that you definitely can skip out, especially in summer months. I am so impressed how intense this black is, and I'm not sure if I've even got the blackest one. Let's see. So this one is called Extreme Black, and it really, really is. I have to say, I've never really noticed a mascara being this black before, and I'm now going in with a second coat, so really just adding in that volume. I am so impressed with this mascara, such a good one from the drugstore especially. I just love how my lashes look, so bold and so black, so they're not kidding when they say extreme black. As you can tell, I haven't done anything with my eyebrows. I can't at the moment because of my microblading, but what I am going to do is just comb them out using the Nuvo Lashes Brow Conditioning Serum. So this will just give them a nice shape, even though I cannot add any colour to them. I'm actually going in to get them re-tattooed. So when you get your brows microbladed, you have to go in 4 weeks after your original appointment, and that will really add in a bit more colour because they have gone lovely and light again, but I do want them a teeny bit darker. So I'm going to go in to see Sean next week and get them done one more time. The next thing that I'm going to do is lips, and I have 3 absolutely gorgeous shades from the Too Faced Melted Matte collection to choose from. I literally do not know which one I'm going to go for. They're all so beautiful. So we've got Queen Bee, Child Star and Sell Out. I think looking at them, Sell Out is definitely my shade, but I'll show you some swatches right now of the other 2. So here you've got Child Star and secondly Queen Bee. But for this makeup look, I'm going to use Sell Out. This looks like the kind of shade I'm going to absolutely be obsessed with. And if you saw my last new in first impressions, you'll know that I used another shade. Can't remember what it was called, but it's a beautiful coral colour, and that lasted so well, so comfortable. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this one today. Really easy to apply as well, just using the doe foot applicator straight onto the lips. Guys, I think this is my favourite lip product that I've ever put on my lips. This colour, hopefully you can see it in the camera, is just absolutely stunning. I describe it as a very wearable brownie pink. It's almost pink with a little bit of chocolate in there as well. It's just so stunning, and I feel like it makes my teeth look whiter as well. Consistency wise, finished applying it 5 seconds ago and it's pretty much almost dry already, and yet it feels so comfortable. So this is Too Faced Melted Matte Liquefied Matte Long Wear Lipstick in the shade Sell Out. Guys, I think this could potentially be a big favourite. I absolutely love it, and the coral one that I tried last time lasted so long, so yeah, really high hopes for this. It's dried out a little bit more now, so it's completely matte. You could apply a balm over the top if you want to, but I think for today I'm just going to leave it. I just love this so much. Got really good feelings about this. I've got a feeling I'll be wearing this an awful lot in upcoming videos. By the way, in my videos I always try and link whatever's on my face, whatever I'm wearing, in the description box, so keep an eye out for this one because I've got a feeling it'll be quite a little regular when it comes to what I'm wearing in the videos. So I think to finish off this makeup look, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of blush because it's quite a harsh look at the moment, so I'm going to make it a bit more feminine with some blush. And this isn't a new product, quite the opposite. It's NARS Orgasm, but it is the new design with the What Makes You Blush icon in there. So I'm just going to take my Sigma brush, lightly pat it in, and then apply it to the apples of my cheeks. Oh, and someone told me the other day that the whole smiling when you apply blusher is actually just an old wives' tale, and actually it's too high if you do that. So recently I've not been smiling when I've been applying my blush. What I love about NARS Orgasm is it does have a little bit of shimmer in there, so you don't need to apply highlighter afterwards if you don't want to. And this has turned out to be quite a matte look, so I feel like highlighter could be a bit of overkill. And that's it, the look is now complete. I feel like this is a very mature and quite a glamorous look with the dark smoky eye and the matte lip. Still can't get over that lip. I'm literally obsessed, cannot wait to wear the other colours as well. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like this look? Is it something that you will be potentially trying out yourselves? And let me know if there are any products in here that have really stood out for you. For me personally, those Too Faced products are just incredible. It's a brand that I have obviously tried before, but I'm really starting to love it even more, especially as they're cruelty free as well. That's just a huge bonus, and available in Selfridges now, as I've said a million times. So hope you enjoyed this video. Very chatty, very casual get ready with me. I now have a day of filming ahead of me, so I'm gonna go and get dressed and get to work. It is now almost 9 o'clock, so a really good start to the day. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more chatty, trying new product videos, then give it a thumbs up and just leave a little message in the comments if you'd like to see more of this type of video. They're really good fun for me to film, so hopefully you do enjoy watching them. If you've stumbled upon this video and are new to my channel, then please do subscribe. I'm really trying and wishing to hit the 30k mark by the end of August, so if you hit that little red button you'll help me along the way, and that would be incredible. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!